Okay, hello and welcome to the weather update. Let's show you what it looked like outside today because it was a beautiful day today. Blue skies, not a cloud in the sky. It was really beautiful out today. And of course, I got to the place I love, the Pine Barrens, of course. So we're going to take a look at, obviously, things are going to be changing now, but let's take a look back at the day. You'll see here on the satellite, you'll see the high clouds starting to roll in ahead of the next storm system. But if we rewind this back to, let's go to 84 frames, you'll see we just had a clear sky over us. Look at that, clear sky over us today. So really nice day. We can rewind this back a little more. We can go to 120 so you get to see the whole day here. But just a clear sky all day long, pretty much across our entire area. It was just beautiful, beautiful. But now those clouds are rolling in. Here's a MODIS satellite. Look at the MODIS satellite, and again, you'll see here the snow cover, and you can see all the snow cover there, right there, throughout. Looks like a little less in Jersey, but you can see when you have a clear day like this, you can really see the extent of the snow cover that we got across our area, and still plenty of snow out there in the pines, obviously, but it's not to the point of being too deep, fortunately. Not as deep as it was, but still decent amount of snow, but we're going to get rid of a good chunk of it tomorrow. Probably not all of it, but at least a good chunk of it. So what we have is the next system approaching our area, which is right here over Chicago. It's giving them some snow into Indiana, moving into Ohio. But we have warm air that's going to be coming up ahead of this system, and therefore it will be a rain event for us for the most part. Let's take a look and see what the high temperatures were today. I did not get the map up. Let me do that. I did not get this map up here, the weather and hazards map. So I'm going to do some winter weather advisories in effect for Pennsylvania because they will get some snow there, but as for us, it will be a rain event. So temperatures right now, let's see what they're dropped to. 12 in West Hampton already. Clear night and still fairly clear out. There's going to be radiational cooling to start, so it drops like a rock. The rest of us are in the mid-20s. There is a 19 over in Muttontown. They can have radiational cooling too. The city holding on to the heat as always. They're still around the high temperature for the day. Still in the mid-30s. Let's go into New Jersey and Toms River. 26, and in the Pine Barrens and the airport there, 21. West Hampton still has them beat by quite a bit. So let's see what the high temperatures were today across the area. So highs were generally in the mid-30s, so as expected, we had some mid-30s generally. And across the entire area, pretty similar readings for high temperatures. We'll again look at some of these observations here. Now, West Hampton is 13 on this observation, but they could drop into the single digits before the clouds roll in and they thicken. But there's still radiational cooling right now because we have clear skies and light winds. So let's go ahead here, and there's that big high. You see it right there on the model there that brought us today's absolutely beautiful day. Well, man, I'm just a little tired. We're going to have this warm air come up. You see the high. So as we move this along, you'll see that the high moves offshore and we have a southwesterly flow. So that means warmer air comes in by morning, and this rain will arrive probably for the afternoon into the evening hours and then move out. And you can see it's all rain for us because we have that southwesterly flow. So that means there'll be warmer air coming in, so it will be mostly rain. That moves away, and then we have dry weather for Tuesday, perhaps a chance of an afternoon shower. And then Wednesday should be a dry day, then another chance of a shower on Thursday, maybe a slight chance. And then another high builds in with more nice weather. And then the next system we would have to watch would be for the weekend with it moving right now. It looks like it would be a rain event too. All right, not going to go any further than that. So let's focus on what's going to be happening over the next 48 hours or so. And we will go to a more shorter range model for that. Let's go to the NAM 12. This is the 0Z run of the NAM 12. So that high moves offshore, and we have that southwesterly flow. Might be start as a few flakes, maybe north and west of the city, but it does eventually change to rain unless you're about 20 miles north and west of the city. It's going to be rain, and it could be a steady, moderate to possibly heavy at times through the afternoon, and then it should wrap up by 6 in the evening, maybe a little sooner. We'll have to see how fast this thing moves. But then it should wrap up, and then after that, we're fairly dry until this next slight chance of a shower on Tuesday with another little disturbance coming through. And the reason why we're rain is because of the temperatures. If we look at the temperatures, you'll see they come up. So as we head into tomorrow, you'll see that warm air come in, and we get into the 40s, perhaps around 40 degrees or so. That's enough to change it over to rain. And that's why we're having rain. So we'll look at the NAM on the total accumulated precip. Move this in here, and we have up to 21Z. That's as far as it goes on the 0Z run. I'd have to go back to the 18Z run. So if you look at total accumulated precip, it's going to be quite a bit of rain, which is why I think we're going to get rid of, at least diminish the snowpack. Probably not completely, but it will be significantly diminished after tomorrow, I think. And we'll go ahead and look at the total snowfall, which is to the north and west. It's not an issue for us, but to the north and west, there's going to be some accumulating snow. In the mountains, definitely, especially in the Poconos, perhaps more like 5 to 8 inches over there. But for the rest of us, we're not going to see anything. We're not going to see any snowfall. We can look at the HRRR too. And I can look at the 0Z HRRR, which has got a better resolution of things. So you'll see there's not really going to be a wave of low pressure along it. It's just like basically a cold front or a front moving through. But the warm air surges up ahead of it, so therefore we are above. Look at that. It's forming some type of squall line. This is a bit concerning. This is mostly to the south of us. But you'll see that there's a squall line that it develops. So the HRRR seems to develop this. I'm going to have to look at the NAM and see if it has this. It has a squall line. Southern New Jersey, especially through the Delmarva, Mid-Atlantic. Quite a squall line there developing. And Long Island could be affected by this. So there could be some heavy rain and maybe even a thunderstorm. Probably not for Long Island, but south the area. You never know with that. That's unusual. I was not expecting to see that. Either way, we're dealing with the rain probably from early afternoon on through around 5, 6 o'clock, or for an ending from west to east. But there could still be a chance of a shower after that. And then it finally moves out, and then this next little system would move in and possibly bring us a chance of a snow shower on Tuesday. A snow or rain shower. Not raining all day. This is going to be much more of a soaker event for tomorrow, and that will put a dent in the snowpack. So let's take a look at the total accumulated precipitation. And again, you see, we're probably going to get at least an inch of rainfall out of this. And if we look at the total snowfall, you can see it's all off to the north and the west there. So again, it's not going to be an issue for us. But again, if you go into north and west of the city about 20 miles, you're going to deal with some accumulating snow. And that's why there's winter-wide weather advisories for those areas, but we're not going to see any of that. And I'll look at the temperatures on the HRRR too. A couple of things I want to look at, actually, after seeing that heavy batch. I don't really see any really warm air getting into the picture to fuel such a squall line. That's why I don't understand why one is being forecast by the HRRR. Maybe it's something aloft, maybe, with the temperatures. We can look at ML Cape and wind crossovers. This is for severe weather, which I don't think there's going to be any. But the next parameter we can look at, let me go to the NAM 3. And let's go and look at the surface on that. And I'll put the wind in here as well. This is the radar without the precip type I'm going to look and see if there's any wind shear going on. There are some strong southerly winds ahead of this squall line. NAM is not bullish on this squall line until it gets offshore, and then it develops this thing. And I'm guessing because of the warmer than normal ocean waters, perhaps it's giving it some fuel. Let me look at the dew point on this and see. Maybe there's a bit of humidity that tries to come up, so that could be some fuel for it, perhaps. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this possibility. I don't think it makes it up here, but it's close, and we'll have to see if we get any of this type of any of the severe weather. We can also look at the FGen as well, which is another parameter we can use here. I don't see anything dramatically. We're missing frames on here. I don't see anything dramatic. I usually like using the 12 for the FGen. You can see some heavy areas of precipitation, but I don't see anything that impressive. I don't think we can't get FGen with the HRRR. I don't think it offers that. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Nope, it doesn't. So I have to see if this squall line winds up developing or not. The HRRR seems to want to develop this thing, and I'm not sure exactly why. I mean, I'm kind of baffled at this point because it's not really showing up on any other. It is showing up on the NAM, but much further out. We can look at the Canadian, but the resolution is too low on the RGM, which is a local version. But you can see it does flare up this rain. Once it gets offshore, we get this flare up. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this flare up here and see what happens with that. But that's a pretty significant flare up right there. I mean, I could look at the FGen on this too as well. I don't really see anything that impressive here to suggest that would happen. So I'm not sure. This is more of a convection event. I'm just baffled. So that's why it shows this up. So we're gonna have to look at a couple of other sites and figure out what's going on here and why this is developing this like this. Because I don't really see any huge warm air. We could look at the 850 temperature. All right, this does have the 850 temperature up here. It does seem to be like a bit of a jet ahead of that. So it's some kind of converter. You could see that jet right there. So a little bit of a jet right over there of warm air that's trying to come in. So I'm thinking that could be the reason for it. We're going to have to look at a couple of the sites and see what's going to happen with that. But either way, it's going to be a lot of rain tomorrow. And it's going to be kind of not so nice out. Once we get done with the rain, we'll go to the temperatures now, and we'll go to the surface temperatures, and we'll go to the HRRR and the G. You'll go to the HRRR, and then I'll go to the GFS. So we'll look at the HRRR with the surface temperatures. So you can see that warm air. Here it is. So this warm air, depending on how close it gets, could be the trigger, because these yellows here are temperatures near 60 degrees. So it stays away from us, it stays to our south, but some of it might get in close enough to cause some convective type precipitation. And then whatever, that moves away, and then we get into cooler air. Temperatures do drop. By the morning, we are around the freezing mark for Tuesday, but then we go back up well into the 40s, so it'll be closer to normal. Whereas today was definitely a little below normal by about 5 degrees or so. This is the GFS, and not quite as warm with Tuesday. And again, those showers and the clouds that could pop up could keep us temperatures down. Wednesday would be warmer, definitely well into the 40s, mid-40s, maybe 50 in Jersey. But then here comes that next cold front that comes in, and you can see the temperatures are going to drop on Thursday. We're going to have highs 35 to 40 probably, and then lows at night dropping down into the 20s, and then for Friday we rebound into the mid-30s, perhaps 40 in Jersey, and then the warm air would come back up toward the weekend, and again that'll be the next system. But see, not really any. I'm not going to go any further beyond Sunday. This is not really going to go into the long range, but you could see that we're dealing with a moderating trend in temperatures. So obviously, plenty of clouds for tomorrow. We're looking at the cloud forecast Tuesday. Probably going to have a decent amount of clouds around, maybe some sun, but a lot of instability in the air. And then Wednesday, probably some clouds too. Our next chance for a clear day would be possibly Thursday, if we can push that front off to the south of us. More likely a clear day on Friday, perhaps, and then more clouds roll into the picture for the weekend. So I can look at the NAM as well, the NAM 3. We'll go to the 18Z because I don't really have far enough out of that. You can see plenty of clouds tomorrow, and then for Tuesday, I will probably have a decent amount of clouds, that instability that'll be around. And we don't have far enough out to Wednesday. We can look at the RGM. RGM, similar idea. And maybe Wednesday, probably have a lot of high clouds around, but not as much low cloudiness, not as much cumuloform cloudiness. This is going into Thursday, and you can see that next front coming. So let me go to the Ventu sky, and let's figure out what's going on here. This site can use a various amount of models here. We'll figure out what is going on with tomorrow and the convective nature of things. This is the Ventu sky. This is using the HRRR model at this point, and you can see that there is warmer air moving in and offshore. Could that possibly cause some convection? Where you could sort of see where that front is sitting there. So you have to the right of it, you have temperatures well into the 50s. To the left of it, temperatures in the 40s. And that difference, I guess, could be the focal point. But that is remaining to our south. We can look at the dew points and see if there's also that difference in dew point. And there is as well the stark distance. And it gets more stark as the front moves toward the east. So we're going to go to that thunderstorm risk now. And this also uses the HRRR. This is looking at Cape for tomorrow. Not really much, very little, but there is some blue offshore. But there's what we call a lifted index. And yeah, there's some of that going on. So you can see right off to the south. So again, some of this convection could cause some heavy downpours, perhaps even a thunderstorm. Oh, look at that. We get into 7 p.m. Look at this. So yeah, it gets more impressive as it moves away toward the east here. And that's something that we're going to have to watch, that convection aspect of things. And I'm wondering if that we'll be dealing with convection on Tuesday as well, with some of those instability showers that we might see, possibly snow showers. We'll have to see what happens. And again, it's hard to predict what's going to happen, but we go back to, we're on Tuesday now. Let me go back to Monday, tomorrow. You have this warm air coming in. That's just off to the south, and the difference between that and the cold air. So it could cause some convection, and that's something to really be concerned about. We can also look at the precipitation here, and you can see this is the precipitation. So you can see just a big, heavy swath of heavy rains to be right around 4 o'clock. So it starts around. So this is a big swath of heavy rain. It'll be in and it'll be out, but this is a big swath of heavy rain here with this front. This is a convergence zone, and there's moisture along it. So, there could be some localized street flooding. The snow melt and the heavy rain could definitely cause that. And this is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on if we see any severe weather out of it. I don't think so, but there could definitely be a thunderstorm. That chance is there for sure. Let me go back to the temperature here, and what I want to look at, you can see that sharp cutoff. And again, as you go later, you can see that sharp cutoff. This is kind of a strong front that we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. What I want to do is I want to go change this temperature to a little bit above the ground, like let's see, 1,000 meters, and see if there's any. Let's do 500 meters. Yeah, sort of like a low-level jet that's going to try to come in. So we're probably not going to see the LLJ, but there is a push of warm air offshore, and this could act as a focal point. So some heavy rain tomorrow, so keep that in mind tomorrow in the afternoon. Could be some heavy downpours, maybe even a thunderstorm, more likely south of Long Island, mostly in New Jersey and the Delmarva, but you never know. We could see a thunderstorm too, at least some showers of heavy rain. With the snow melt, there's going to be a lot of ponding of water on roads and stuff, so be careful out there. It's not going to be fun walking around but it should be out of here by the evening. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.